2 hours of sleep, ashy knees, and even ashier hearts. Funny but foul.
Coming at you live. Well, not live, but new and improved yet again.
Yes.
Except for that.
Except for that part. Yeah, you fill that bitch in while I fill these bitches in. Welcome, guys. Make sure to subscribe. And we got a new soundboard. Watch us fade, baby. Woo! So, dude, so last time we talked about how Ukraine and Russia were about to go to war, and literally...
And then what the fuck just happened this week?
Oh, my God. They went to fucking war, dude.
Bro, I came home from, like, jiu-jitsu.
Oh, and yo, hold on. Before we get into Ukraine real quick, I got to say something. My boy, you know, there's very few people that go from being savages into intellectuals, but even fewer going from intellectuals into savages. And my boy, last couple weeks, I don't want to say because I don't know if he's going to stay on board, but apparently he's been getting his back taken.
He's getting a lot of things taken from
him.
Fuck, man.
Manhood being one,
bro,
one of those.
It's rough. It's good, though. It's good, but
good.
it's rough.
It's good. And I'm proud of you, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, so going back to what we were saying.
Yeah, I got home and they were, because we talked about this. We talked about the rumors. We talked about the Russians have been setting up there around the border for a while, and there are all these like I don't want to say like inclination, but there are all these signs that maybe something was going to happen, but then no one would really thought it was going to. And then like I come home, it was a Wednesday, and I see the news reports that the Russians had started what they called a military operation. They didn't call it because they didn't declare war, and they didn't call it an invasion either. They just said
sneaky
military exercises.
That's right.
In the east, in the breakaway regions of Donetsk and Donbass or whatever. And I remember when I told my dad's like, "Fuck off." He's like, "No." And then I'm like, "No, look at this real." Like, put on the news, and then it was like the beginnings of just the very first couple of explosions that they'd land, a couple of shells that they'd landed. And
damn.
I reached out to. Do you know any Ukrainian people? Like, you got friends?
Yeah, I got some Ukrainian friends. Yeah.
So I got one that I talk to every once in a while, like one that I actually will talk to, and I asked her, I'm like, hey, because her family's in Odessa, and I don't know if you know Odessa, but they're one of the port cities in the south that was actually hit. Yeah. Like within the second day. Yeah. And I was like, hey, this is like literally when we got the report. So the operation just started because it was evening here. It was morning.
It was Wednesday when it started. Yeah.
Exactly. And it was early morning over there in Ukraine. And so I messaged her, I'm like, hey, like, and she's like, yeah, honestly, actually, it's like, I'm fucking nervous as hell because it doesn't, this is legit. She's like, this is for real. It's just at this point, we don't know how serious it's going to be. And so she was like calling her folks and all that stuff. And so it very quickly became real.
Yeah. And the air horns were going hard, man.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're literally a generation watching a war through TikTok. That's what's really going on.
And Instagram Live. And
Instagram Live. And it's like these guys are packing their shit. They're, you know, I was watching this guy for like 6-7 minutes, and he was like packing a Glock and a Remington, and like fucking, he's got his dog on a fucking leash, and he's like, he's literally heading to the jungle, man. Like, where the fuck do you go, dude?
The crazy part too, and it's interesting you mentioned the TikTok stuff, is that never in our history has it been easier to get footage of war, footage of real-time, on-the-ground survivors, troops, whatever you want to get, just footage in general. But it's also, surprisingly enough, never been easier ever in human history to fake footage. So as easy as it is to get, it's equally as easy to fake. So what's crazy about a situation like this where things are changing every hour is that because everything's happening so quickly, you don't have time to check if this shit is legit or not. Like if someone sends you something of, you know, Kiev or wherever, like, hey, check this out. Because it's all happening like this, like every 15 minutes you could be getting a new update like that, you're just taking it and be like, oh shit, wow, or oh my god. Yeah. But you can't stop and think, like, wait, is this actually legit?
Yeah, there's so many avenues that are coming in that it's hard to even depict which one is true and which one is false. And we don't even know, like, what is true and what is false in whose eyes. Like, in one side's eyes, in the other side's eyes, in the Pentagon's eyes. Like, Like, are we going Eddie Bravo? Like,
No,
whose eyes?
I'm talking like basic. Like
no, but I
like,
understand.
Is this footage literally fabricated in the sense of like, is this footage even of what happened right now, or is this footage of some war that happened like 5 years ago? Because people have been doing that. They've been taking footage of other like bombings or battles or whatever of things that happened like 5-6 years ago, and then they're like, "Oh, Ukraine." So one of them that's really interesting, and you mentioned it earlier today. That's why I'm coming back to it now. Is the Ghost of Kiev?
Yeah.
So people have heard of the Ghost of Kiev now.
Yeah.
Supposedly a Ukrainian ace fighter, jet fighter, who took down 6. I heard it was 6 in one day. And when it first started getting shared, like the footage.
Yeah.
This isn't what I saw because I saw later footage. So the footage that I saw was the jet fighter like flying above in the city, so you can see like skyscrapers and shit. So that one looked relatively legitimate. Whether it was actually this Ukrainian ace like the Ghost of Kiev or not, whatever. But
who the fuck knows?
But what's interesting? Here's where it gets funny. The initial footage, because this shit's going on Twitter like fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Twitter's being used an insane amount, right?
It's Russian.
It's insane.
It's Russian.
The initial footage that got shared of this Ghost of Kiev was just like overhead footage from not in a skyscraper kind of city, but somewhere else of just like this jet fighter going back and forth, was actually from a game. Just game footage. It's just, it looks so real.
Yeah.
And they used that. And then later on when people went to actually like fact check, they're like, wait a second, this is footage of a fucking video game. So it's gotten to that where, because it's happening so quickly and there's so much information flooding in, you kind of just have to take it and then check it later. You can't check it as it comes in, because then you'll miss it and then the next thing comes up.
You know what? It's funny. We're over here making memes and shit and laughing about this, but there's like real problems.
That's
out
the
there.
thing, is that there's legitimate cause for real distress and real concern. There's some fucking problems happening out there. Like, forget about like you said, all the memes. Like, there's thousands and thousands of people in Ukraine trying to leave, trying to get out, because regardless of whether or not they agree with what Russia's doing, they don't feel safe. They have to get the fuck out, because they're like, listen,
they're getting bombed. Bro.
Yeah, it's like, listen, we got these cruiser missiles that are coming in. We don't know if the fucking army's actually going to come in or not. Like, they're like, maybe I wake up tomorrow to the fucking sounds of a Russian soldier breaking down my doors.
Now
then what?
Let me switch this up. Just quickly going to it, just surface dive into this. Do you think people feel as bad as when like Iraq USA happened or Afghanistan USA happened? Or would you say that these the Russians are killing civilians? It seems back in the day it didn't seem like the United States is killing civilians. I mean, I did hear stories of them abusing and raping and that kind of thing, but again, that always happens during war. I'm not trying to downplay that, but it's just it is what it is. But now it seems like the casualties in the last few days, approximation-wise, now I don't know how real this is, but it does seem like there's a fair bit of just casualties of just civilians.
That's I think part of that is due to the fact that Ukraine is more of a city-oriented country than Iraq is. Like, Iraq has got a few major cities, and then in between those major cities, there's not much. It's empty. It's desert, right? In the Ukraine, you have fewer big cities, and then people sparsely populated in between more, right? Because you'll have like small towns, and then like in between the towns, like just houses and shit. So like as people make their way through, they go through it. One of the things that you mentioned there was how bad people feel about this, now versus something like Iraq and the U.S. What was interesting about the U.S. invasion of Iraq is that when it first started, when they were talking about starting it, that's when most of the outrage happened. You had anti-war protests, like the biggest ever in U.S. history. Actually, the biggest anti-war protests in U.S. history up till the time was Iraq. It was bigger than the ones they had for Vietnam, just in sheer volume, like of people that were involved. But once the U.S. actually managed to get in Iraq and they were conducting their operation, outrage kind of like stopped. People just kind of accepted it, and they're like, well, they're in here now.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Versus with this, man, it's like, I think most people, at least the ones that I'm talking to, they just see it like this is fucked up. Why?
Yeah.
Why the fuck? Why is why is Russia and Ukraine? Just straight up, everyone's asking the question of, can someone fucking explain why they're even there to begin with?
I got a salty take.
What you got?
Okay, then this. Some people, some of our friends might not like this. Some people, won't like this. Everybody wants to be an activist in time like this. And, I mean, I see good intentions out there, 100%, right? I see a lot of good intentions. But I'm sorry, okay? If you put it on your fucking story, you're not helping nobody, okay? Let's just, to all the people, mostly girls I see, and I'm not targeting you. I understand. Like you're helpless.
Yeah.
But doing this, you're not an activist, man. You're not. You're not like a revolutionary type of person. You're not helping nobody. Like, let's say a guy in Ukraine sees your story by chance.
Yeah.
Somehow through the algorithms, it finds your fucking dumb story of send love to Ukraine. Okay? I understand intention, but you're not fucking helping. You're just like fucking up my feed, basically. Just like,
what do you think if someone, like, locally, I'm not talking like Canada, shit, we'll bring it down to like the lower mainland. What do you think is the best thing that someone here could be doing to actually help the Ukraine?
Possibly a GoFundMe,
Like donations.
a donation.
You know a good one that I heard recently
Yeah.
was putting up your home for refugees.
Yeah, you could
Like,
definitely
that's
do that. Yeah.
Out of all the things that people locally could actually do, that's like within their reach. That's probably the even bigger than the financial, because I actually saw somebody mention
hold on, sorry, just
ahead.
between what you're saying, because we're talking with Robert Picton earlier.
Oh god.
Is there gonna be a bunch of pedophiles that are just like targeting hot Ukrainian chicks that come over, and as they come over, they just instantly Epstein them into the island?
I
Like,
hope, fucking pray to God.
Jesus.
Not. I mean, hopefully they're immigrating as families, not as single lonely women or some shit like that. You know what I mean?
Hey, don't count those out.
But yeah, what I saw earlier, I think it was this week or today, was someone posted about, they're like, hey, oh my God, I really want to, like, they had the kind of, I don't want to say fantasy, but the idea of actually going to Ukraine to help. Like, I really want to help, blah,
Good
blah,
luck,
blah,
bro.
blah, blah, and all this
Yeah,
stuff.
okay.
And then someone
Sure.
better natured than us and better spoken than us kind of replied, and he's like, listen, I understand you have really good intentions here and you're truly wanting to help, and I think that's a great thing. But try and think about what you wanting to do would actually mean for the people of Ukraine and how much it would actually help. If you were to go there and not even speak a lick of Ukrainian or Romanian or Polish or whatever country you're hoping to go to help, you're not going to be able to help anybody. And then if you just plop yourself in these countries, you're probably going to do more harm than good.
Because you're useless.
You're not, exactly. First of all, what skills do you have that are going to that'd be useful over there? And then B, if those skills were actually needed, you'd probably be already part of an organization that does this kind of thing.
Bro.
Whether it's Red Cross, whether it's, UN aid, whatever. So you going there is probably not the best thing. So that's what guys like, listen, he's better than us, right? Because we would have been like, yo, shut the fuck up. This is stupid.
This is dumb.
But this guy was like, listen, there are probably better things you could do with your time and your energy that you want to help with. Try and find those avenues instead. And I was like, damn.
Yeah. Thing is, man, you might not even have the right type of visa to get there on time. Like, what the fuck are we talking about here?
There's so much.
Like, there's so many variables there.
The guy was mentioning, like, he had like a whole like post. He's like, I'm gonna break it down for you, because he's like, I did. He's like, what did he say? I did this for, it was like not Nepal, but some like country in Asia. He's like, I've done this for like a couple of decades. Like, I've been involved in these like relief campaigns. And he's like, it's true, visas are relatively relaxed in times of crisis. Like, you can theoretically, if you really, really wanted to go there and help, a lot of the people at customs will probably overlook just so you can go and help. But he's like, think about what you going there would actually do for people, right?
Right, yeah.
So he's like, you're probably best off either providing monetary aid from the comfort of your own home, or trying to do something locally, whether it's helping people that are coming in as like literally putting up your home for refugees, or helping any of the number of Ukrainian associations that are here. Because there's guaranteed there's a decent. Have you seen there was a big rally yesterday or today actually for Ukraine in downtown, like Jackpool Plaza Art Gallery. There was like 3,000 people that had like a big rally for them. So there's probably a number of organizations that are like Ukrainian based whether it's like Ukrainian Association of BC,
But again,
whatever.
protesting, what does that do though?
No,
bro?
it wasn't protesting. It was just a rally to like bring awareness and just show support. It actually does help because what it does end up doing is it gets more eyes to the cause. And then the other thing too is most of the people there on the rally are actually Ukrainian. So really what
Fair
it's
enough.
doing, really what it's
Yeah.
doing is just kind of helping themselves. It's like
Yeah.
cope with this, right? Because
Yeah.
they're like, I imagine your friends and like my friend too would just love to teleport their grandma from Ukraine here, right? Like just come here safe, but it's not so easy. So they're like, fuck, I can't go there. Maybe if I'm with other Ukrainians, it's like it'll just help me feel a bit better to kind of deal with the situation. And then outside of that, maybe it gets people to start supporting it more, like I said, whether it's donations or something else that they can actually offer.
Yeah. Listen, man, this is the thing. With this, it's the fucked up part about it is like if they don't attack a NATO nation, NATO can't intervene really. Like,
No,
as
they can't.
much as
They can't.
they want to help with the fuel and all that, it's like
Well,
we're just watching, basically just watching
Well,
a
hold on.
country go down.
NATO can't help with troops in Ukraine.
Yeah, but
But
around
They can basically do anything outside of that. So they can give them weapons. They can give them armor.
yeah, but that only does so much,
food
right?
supply. It actually does quite a bit.
It does quite
does
a bit,
quite a bit.
but again, you're unless you're coming out with like legitimate people to operate jets, you're only gonna have so many jets, so many tanks, so many people,
I
so many
understand.
army.
I
There's
understand.
limitations
No,
to this.
100%. Like what you would want is to actually bring
Yeah.
in actual forces. Oh, can't do that. Did you? A funny side note. Did you know who the head of the UN Security Council is?
Who?
It's fucking Russia.
Hilarious.
Can you imagine this?
Hilarious.
And the part that makes this even funnier is there was a vote recently this week, obviously after the attacks were launched, from someone within the Security Council brought up the issue of like, let's vote to, it was either officially condemn or like it was something that they wanted to do, like some kind of action they wanted to take towards Russia for this. There's only 3 countries in the Security Council that have veto power. It's China, the U.S., and Russia.
What about UK?
They don't have veto power.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think it's like 4. I'm missing like one more, but it's not many of the people that are of the
Pretty sure
countries.
it's UK.
Check it out right now. And second of all, UK is not a country. But anyways,
United Kingdom is not a country.
no, it's not.
Great Britain.
Yeah, Britain is.
Well, it's not the same.
No, it's not. It's weird, man. I'll send you a video. It's like some fucked up shit. You have England, Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland, and then Great Britain makes up all of that, and then you have Ireland as well, and then the UK makes up all of that. And
So
it's
is
surrounding
Wales
islands.
a different country?
Wales, it's technically its own country. It's
These
It's weird, man.
motherfuckers.
It's weird. There's something I think they call it like the Principality of United Kingdom. I don't know, some weird.
What
shit.
am I looking up here?
UN Security Council veto power.
China, France, Russia, United Kingdom, and United
Nice.
States.
Good work. +1 for you. So it's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But yeah, Russia. They exercise.
Why France, dog? I don't know why France, bro.
They're strong.
Strong what, bro? Listen, dude.
you know-
let me go into this real quick.
Go ahead.
Anytime that I've ever heard, like, yo, man, you be acting hella French, bro. It's like you don't have power. You're acting like a, you know.
Yeah, that you know why that came. That's just from the World War, and honestly, man, that's kind of some bullshit. That I don't agree whenever people talk about France being weak and stuff during the World War II because the people never gave up. It was the government that gave up.
But Russia was like fucked. Russia was like savage.
Oh no, that's everybody knows that Russia was savage. Fucking Finland was like a fuck ton of countries. But what I mean is, like the French people, the resistance, they never gave up, even when their country gave up on them, which was I think really courageous.
So I got another question here.
Sure.
Let's say they attack Poland or whatever the fuck, right?
Then we're in World War III.
Okay, so now let's play this out real quick, okay? So, fucking.
Listen, if they
Okay, so let's say China helps out with fucking Russia. Okay, I've looked at some of these numbers and I don't know how legitimate they are because they range. Okay,
yeah.
So they're saying that China and Russia combined, that alliance with Belarus and all them, Syria. I don't know how much power those people have.
Sure.
Anyway, all them together, they have about 4.5 million army, and basically in every avenue except for tanks, they kill NATO.
Okay, well, that's a lot to get into. We're not going to get into the details. I'll just break it down real simple.
Yeah.
If Poland gets attacked or any NATO country gets attacked, legitimately attacked, call your mom, call your sister, tell them anything you wanted to tell them for the last 28 years of your life, and that's it. Because that's it. That's World War III. That's the end of us. That's nuclear war. We're done. That's it.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. Because if a NATO country gets attacked and someone gets a bit too trigger happy with the nuke, it's over. It's literally over.
It's over.
Because not only is it over in terms of like nuclear warfare kills the world, Vancouver's actually one of like the main targets in Canada to hit with a nuke.
Easily.
No, like it was like published. It was some like Russian intelligence report. It was Vancouver and then
and Trudeau's talking all this smack, bro.
It wasn't Toronto, it was somewhere else, but there was like a big naval base somewhere, I don't know where, and then Vancouver because of its port status.
How convenient is this that this is right after COVID? Like COVID just got
bruh.
fucking.
Yo, what is COVID?
Yeah,
honestly?
what is COVID?
What is COVID after like
new phone? Who's this?
Possibilities for a world war.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy because, and I've thought about this a couple nights. The implications for what's happening right now might just be whatever. Like, Ukraine and Russia kind of get in a fight and you just like separate them. Like, all right, you guys fuck off.
Yeah, it's like two little kids fighting.
Yeah, or it could get pretty fucking serious.
Or Russia comes down with Belarus and chokes that kid's out with a fucking donkey.
No, that's not even my worry. If Ukraine goes down, as sad as that would be, the world will move on, right? Because
they got destroyed before.
Because no one's the Ukrainians have fought back the Russians for like 500 years.
Bro, they got fucked a few years ago. I remember they got bombed a few years
ago. Crimea. You're thinking about Crimea. Crimea they just took it. That's the southern part of what used to be Ukraine. Yeah. So that's actually what the Russians were using this time as an excuse, is that another similar situation of Crimea was happening in the east. So you might have heard of Donetsk. Donetsk is a region in the east that supposedly is Russian backed. Like there's Russian separatists in that area that want to be Russian. So then Putin's like, oh, we're just claiming what's already should be ours because these people want to be Russian. The whole thing used to be Russia anyway, so just fuck off, let us take it, and then we'll be on our way. But as we've all seen, they're just going into actual Ukraine. Like they're going into Kiev.
Dude.
Right?
Savage.
So it's we'll see, man. I got like live updates on my phone from the New York Times, so anytime like my phone buzzes for that live update, and I'm like, oh fuck, here we go.
Belarus.
Fuck Belarus.
What did you do? Oh no.
I'm just like worried about all of a sudden it's like, yeah, Putin declared nuclear war. Fuck.
Listen, if that happens, man, all these things that we were worried about, mortgages, fucking.
Dude, no, literally, if it gets to that, it's over.
It's over.
It's literally over.
It's over, kids. Okay? You had your fun at levels. You fucked some chick on the dance floor. Whatever.
Even if it's not
done.
I don't want to be around in a world where that's already happened.
Bro.
Like when people talk about like, oh, I still want to be alive in the nuclear winter. Fuck that, bro. The world will be completely different in a bad way.
Yo, what are you doing though? What are you doing? Like, let's say that happens, right?
No, literally.
You got 24 hours.
I'm driving.
24 hours. Listen.
I'm spending it with my parents.
24 hours to do whatever the fuck you want.
I'm literally just going to go to my parents' place. We're going to order up a shit ton of food, watch some movies, call family, call friends, and that's it.
You going to wait it out?
Yeah, there's nothing else to do.
You going to wait it out, though, to get crispy?
What you mean like you want to get baked or something? Like what are you trying to do?
No, you're going to wait it out till the fucking nukes go off, or you just going to go kill yourself Hitler style?
Oh, no, I'll just wait for the nuke. Hopefully it takes me out first blast. And then if it doesn't, then kill myself.
How are you going to kill yourself if you're just like a head?
I'll figure out a way, man. I'll like crush myself.
Just a stump?
I don't know. We'd figure something out, man. But like ain't nobody want to be around for nuclear winter.
Hector!
You know what I mean?
Hector, grab the scissor!
Fuck that.
Yo, fuck. Yeah. I would thrive in that kind of area because...
What area? Nuclear winter?
Yeah.
No,
software,
you die.
Software done.
You die.
Take Senora. Bro, we're going fucking cannibalism.
Yeah.
Everybody I see. Dinner.
Nothing like radiated meat to make the stomach full.
Hello, it's Arman.
Nothing
it's like, dude, we went to high school together. I don't know who you are.
Nothing like eating your food and it talking back to you to know that it's fucked.
Yeah. Bro, that's savage, man. But let's hope that doesn't happen.
No, let's hope.
I think Putin wouldn't do this if that was the case, because that's suicide for him, man.
It really is, and I think as much posturing as he's doing, because he's like, you know, if a country interferes in Russia's operations with Ukraine, we're gonna respond with a force you've never seen. Blah blah, all this shit, which he's basically implying is like, I don't nuke you guys. He has to know that would be the end of Russia. So a rational Putin doesn't do that. So the only risk and fear that people have right now is, how fucking crazy is Putin right now? Like, how sane is he? Is he fucked in the head? Because if he is, this is a legitimate cause for concern, because all it's going to take is like some fucking crazy ass whatever, and then he's going to pull a button and it's like, all right,
done.
But if he's rational, if he's sane of mind, he won't.
He's a judo guy, man. He needs to know equilibriums, and he needs to know balance and center of gravity and all that shit.
Hopefully.
But there is something called human nature. Now, this goes into one of our topics, and that is that how much power does it take to change somebody? Like, if you give anybody enough power,
not much at all. I don't.
How much does it take to significantly change characteristics?
What has significantly changed to you?
Go in as a fucking, revolutionary leader and end up as a dictator.
Oh, I don't think. I don't want to say quite a bit, but a significant amount for sure. We've seen it so many times.
Democracies, like in the United States, I mean, let's be honest. There's no president. Like, they don't control it. It's like Pentagon. It's much deeper than president, right? But in less built and less complicated countries, the president actually has a fair bit of power.
It's true.
So it's different kind of power structures there.
Well, because I was gonna bring it down even smaller. Like, if you take a regular person and you give them a significant bump in power, whether it's, a very, very significant promotion at work, or running for local office, even like, so I was even gonna think of smaller, because I think that's really all it takes is to change someone significantly. I don't know. That'd be something I have to talk about. Like, what does significant mean to you? Are they a completely different person now, or are they, whatever? But I'm thinking the moment you give somebody power, it really amplifies their true values and characteristics. Like, there's less hiding from them, because the more power you get, the more you get off on it, the more you feed off of it, to the point where you start feeling more confident the more power you get. It's natural. Everyone, the moment you give someone more power, they feel bigger. So once you feel bigger, you feel less self-conscious about showing who you truly are.
Right.
That's not to say it's changed you, because behind closed doors or in private, you're already a certain type of way. But once you're given power that just don't give a fuck what people think about you, that's when you start expressing it to everybody else. And then if anybody's ever not seen you like that before, they'll be like, yo, why are you so different? Why are you so why are you so arrogant all of a sudden? Why are you so mean? And why are you so why are you like this?
Yeah.
The person's going to think to themselves, I was always like this. I'm just like this with you. But the same could be said for something positive, right? Like, maybe someone gets more power and all of a sudden they feel more confident to make good or great change that they didn't want to speak out before, because they were scared of being rejected, or scared of, being turned around or whatnot. So I just think that the more power you give someone, the more it shows who they truly are.
Fair enough. I just think people don't have the brain complexity to be selfless, and the wealth gap is so severe that some people are living paycheck to paycheck. Some people aren't even are living on assistance, and then some people are rising billionaires. So it's
right.
You don't expect the rising billions, because not all these rising billionaires are evil.
Well, here's the thing, and you'll see this in different accounts of, if you read autobiographies of people, or firsthand accounts of interactions with certain people. Whenever you see these people come up in a big way, whether it's politicians or business leaders or whoever, whatever impression you get of them, like whatever characteristics you think you're spotting in them, positive or negative, if you talk to people that were around earlier on in their life before they made it big, they will mention that those tendencies were always there. Like they will have seen glimpses of it. So you'll hear about stuff like, I mean, we know what Bezos is like right now. We know what Zuckerberg is like. Actually, Zuckerberg's a really good example because when he first started getting big, he felt like a different person than he is now. Very different. When he first kind of came on the scene as the CEO of Facebook, and Facebook wasn't as huge as it is now, he wasn't as confident in himself and who he was as he is now. So the character or persona that he showed to the public was friendlier, was nicer, was more, I don't want to say humble, but kind of just more harmless.
Yeah, more approachable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the character of Zuckerberg you see now, you wouldn't describe
Robotic.
the same way. Exactly.
Yeah.
And at times kind of a dick.
Yeah.
Right? If you talk to people that knew him back in Harvard,
Yeah, they'd say
he was that way.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they were people that got close to him when he was in Harvard.
Yeah.
And so he kind of let down his walls and let his guard down and showed his true character.
Basically hours in. Like how many hours do you see a person? If you see them past a certain amount of hours, you see these flaws. It's kind of like going out with a girl, right? Your first day, right? You do a quick scan, right?
Yeah,
and if she's like relatively high on, okay on most scales, you're like, oh yeah, she's like a 8 or whatever, right? She's great, yeah, okay. And then second, third time, and then you'll run into these like mediocre problems, and then you'll see her struggle, and you're like, yo, like, chill, son.
The other thing, it goes both ways, right? The more time they spend with you, the more comfortable they are showing you who they really are. Yeah. So
who they are. I remember I was asking one of my buddies, he's basically married to this like Italian girl.
All right.
And he was telling me, shout out to him. He's telling me they're not married yet, but they're basically married.
Sure.
And he's telling me, he's like, yeah, when I first, he was making the argument that girls change and they become like wiser and stuff.
Oh,
and I was like, sure, but you can't like Captain Save a Hoe, right? You can't, Hector,
Sure.
you can't Captain Save a Hoe,
Sure.
right? You'll just end up killing yourself. And he's like, yeah, sure, but first time I met my fiance, and she said, I asked her, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And she said, yeah, I'm going to be retired early, and I'm going to be in a boat in like fucking Italy on the islands. And he's like, dude, what are you doing right now that like you're going to retire early at fucking, 30 years old?
Yeah.
And she's like, I have no fucking idea, but I'm going to come up with something. Like, dude, what the fuck?
Oh my God.
And like now they're fucking, almost married, bro.
Well, that's how she goes, man.
It's the name of life. But going to this last
what do you got to wrap us up?
next I got two more. I got two more.
Yeah. Go ahead.
One, it just goes into this girl factor that we're talking about last week, right? And you asked me.
By the way, you're looking crispy.
Thanks, dog.
And that's not even with the 7C.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking crispy too.
You're looking like Krispy Kreme, baby.
I really am, but you are looking.
Those cheeks are getting smaller, bro.
Thank
Yo,
you.
let me see
Appreciate
that. Tuck that chin in. Let me see that double chin real quick. Let's see a quick result right now.
This way?
No, tuck it in.
No, I know,
like
but
this.
like which way am I leaning towards?
You're looking this way, and then tuck your double chin in. All right, we got like a nice little inch and a half, right there.
We're gonna measure the double chin over time. That's
yeah, we're gonna have.
We'll use that as a measurement.
Exactly.
I like that.
Exhibit
also,
A.
This is actually on purpose too, because I wanted you to see. This is as much as it. You asked me at one point, like how much can I grow in my beard?
Yeah.
This is as filled in as it gets. It'll get longer, but this is it for coverage.
Damn. Son.
I got solid neck beard, which is god awful.
Garbage.
Like I hate. This is like terrible. If I could just transfer this here, I'd be
Hey,
good.
what if I told you, right, that doing beard transplants is cheaper than doing hair transplants?
Of course, it's cheaper. It's less square footage.
Not only that, but it's just quality of hair is not the same. You could put fur. You could actually transfer body hair onto your face, and it'll fall, and the root will grow facial hair.
The modern
technology.
The marvels of modern medicine. That's what I was gonna say.
That's right. So going back to what we were talking about last week, right? Part 2. You asked me, why do girls act ambiguous towards their status?
I don't think
right?
I asked you that, but okay.
No. Yeah, you did. Actually,
I think
you
you just
did.
brought it up, didn't you?
No.
Okay, what did I ask you? What was it?
Let me actually go back to, because we cut this out, but I can actually show you what you said. You're like, why is that? And I said, I don't know. And you said, we're going to keep this for next week.
Okay. Can you tell me the question that I asked you again?
Okay. So you asked me, why do girls act ambiguous towards their, like, I guess, early stages of their partner status when, you know, guys of interest ask them about their status or their relationship? Are they, you know, single? Are they, you know, whatever? And we were talking about how girls act. You know, a guy can, you know, she hangs out with him on Valentine's,
that's why I'm smiling.
right?
I think you asked me this.
No,
and
no,
I
no.
said, we'll discuss it. And then I said, this is a good one. Let's discuss it. But I don't think I actually came up with this.
No, you didn't come up with this.
Yeah,
I came up with this.
That's what I'm saying. And then I said, we'll discuss this one.
Yeah.
Okay, cool,
But the question was, that was it.
I
right?
got you.
So let's go into that real quick.
Sure.
And the reason is because once a woman settles, she's going to have a kid, right?
Normally.
So she wants to have a better calculated baby daddy.
Okay.
And that's why she's ambiguous,
Mhm,
because
mhm.
she waits and she's patiently calculating who's better,
Yeah.
which is why it would make sense if their brains develop faster than ours.
Yeah, I can see that.
Right? Wouldn't it make sense? Because they have to read, like, what they lack is what they gain, right? So if they lack physical strength on average, they're gonna gain like literacy, probably intelligence, patience, you know, better way of interaction. Like, dude, I know girls that fucking didn't pass grade 10. They know how to speak better than me. Like, it's like, you know what I'm saying?
I remember why this came up now, because I'm as you were kind of explaining that, I'm trying to remember like how we got to this last time.
I could show you a chat and it'll tell you exactly.
Oh no,
why.
I know, but it came from that.
Yeah.
Right, because when we saw that interaction, that's when we kind of like started going back and forth. Like, why?
Yeah, why is this?
Why do girls do that?
Yeah.
Why do girls do that whole thing of? Guys do it too, but I don't think as often, because they just won't bring the person up at all. Until it's a thing.
Yeah, guys are notorious for like side chicking honestly right off the bat. Like, I've told girls like I'm not even gonna slut shame myself. I've told girls like right off the bat, like, hey, listen, this is not gonna be serious.
Yeah.
And I hope that I did that in good intent to like not waste your time, man. Like, what if you're not into this? Like, if you you know, what if we're just hanging out and you're like, oh yeah, I'm trying to like find a husband or whatever. Well, sorry, like,
not into it.
Yeah, don't waste your time. I'm sorry. Go find that husband.
Yeah.
Right? You do you, man. You got a timeline. I don't really like, you know, who gives a fuck? And that brings us to our actually, do you have any input on that?
No.
Because I think we pretty much covered it last week.
I think so. Yeah.
And I just wanted to say it's because of just to recap, to the better choice, right? Whichever is better choice. I mean, it makes perfect sense. Like, you're gonna be vulnerable. You're gonna be with a kid. You might not be able to work, and there's modern problems that come with that.
So what's your, I don't say theory, but what's your idea behind why that happens? Why girls do the whole like ambiguous thing?
Okay, so they have to be
very
very calculated.
Are you saying it because they're holding on for what's better out there? Is that what you're?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that actually does make sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because as a girl, we don't even understand what it's like to be a girl, because how many times have you been approached in your life, Hector?
Yeah, true.
Let's run through this.
Actual?
Yeah, actually.
Approached like what? By like a girl?
A girl asked you out how many times?
Oh, fuck. Like, on one hand, I can count.
Yeah. And if any guy says like more than like 20, like 20, you are a hero.
Yeah.
Among heroes.
You're a special
all right?
breed.
If 20 girls have approached you and asked you out in your lifetime, like 20 decent looking, decent girls, I'm talking about like decent in every level, right? You, my friend, are Zeus's son, Hercules, because there's nobody that has these kind of numbers that's not famous or some type of some type of high status. So that being said, they have all these approaches, all these letters coming in like Santa Claus, bro, and they can only answer one letter. and they pick up the best letter, and little Timmy gets his present for fucking Santa Claus.
What do you think gets girls to actually lock in
These days?
Yeah.
In this city?
You think it's time? So like
hold on.
Eventually they're like, okay,
I know what it is.
If I don't play these cards, I will lose them, kind of thing. I think that's one factor, actually.
Yes, but it really depends on timeline for each girl.
No, I know. I'm not saying it's the same for everyone, but that's
what
I mean. Like, I think that's a really big factor. I'm sure you can probably bring up some others, but one that kind of pops out to my head that seems pretty logical is the time aspect, where it's like, listen, if you don't play the hand you have right now, those hands will be worthless in X amount of years or X amount of months.
Yes, but you're also getting this new age of decline in population, and it's a lot of suicides. It's a lot of high levels of virgins. Yeah. So there's also that stride to go in hand. I've seen both. I've been with girls that have they are so pretentious, and all they're wanting is like their parents buy them like an apartment. Their parents fucking co-sign their car.
Yeah.
Like they're living on like a $400, $500 margin per month. And they're acting like they're balling, and they're working like 12-hour days.
Sounds oddly specific.
Yeah. So like, do you know what I'm saying though? Like it's
I do.
Hilarious how that happens.
What are the other factors you can think of that would lead to a girl holding out? Like being ambiguous, so they're holding out for something that might be better.
Sometimes it's delusional though.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's miscalculation sometimes.
Sorry, the question wasn't that. The question was what gets them to actually lock in.
Lock in, honestly. This day and age, every girl, all right, as long as you are mediocre to good in every aspect of life, like you're not really lacking.
Yeah.
You're not like, no offense, but like you're not like disabled, you got a healthy body, right?
Clean bin of health.
Yeah.
Decent job.
Yeah. Hold on. Nothing about the job. Just decent job. Sorry, not decent job. Decent looks.
Yep.
Right? Decent personality. Key factor, money.
Oh, so that's why I said
money.
Yeah, sure, okay. Yeah.
Money. Listen, if you tell any girl, hey, listen, forget about everything, man, right? Think about how many girls get that offer to them, right? Hey, this job that you worked 4, 8, 10 years of university for, studied and went to university, had like whatever debt for this. You don't have to work it anymore. Come.
Yeah.
Let's go on my jet. Let's go whatever. Or let's go run my business.
Doesn't have to be that level. Or
doesn't even have to be that level.
Yeah.
Listen.
Go.
5 times a year. Let's go on trips.
You can be here and you can do nothing and be comfortable.
Yeah.
For a lot of girls, that actually does a lot, because we're not even talking about like the super primo girls.
No.
We're talking like an average one where all of a sudden you literally don't have to worry to live anymore. You don't have to worry to get the things that you might like.
Yeah. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Right? And it's sad because, like, I had a conversation with somebody and I was like, hey, don't you feel bad that, like, you didn't do any of this yourself?
Oh, okay.
Like, in my family, like, not my direct family, but family, friends, and family, I could go borrow a lot of money, man. Like, why would I? Because then I'd be forever sitting in that big-ass house, forever indebted. Like, every time I see this person, I'm going to be like, this person took my manhood away. Like, there's no pride in that. You never did it to yourself.
No, I don't fully agree. And that should be the topic for next week's podcast. But I don't think that's necessarily the case, because if you think about it traditionally, where I'm just going to take their money, live on it, and then slowly pay them back over time, or not even pay them back or whatever, then 100% what you said, I agree with you. But if you take that money, you can actually do something with it, and then not only give them their money back with returns.
Hold on. We're playing.
That is the basis of because not everybody has that idea to do that, right?
No, this is what I was saying.
So I'm just giving people the alternative. That
I understand.
If you're considering it, maybe it might not be such a bad idea or such a negative idea as you think.
No, it's not negative. It's just the fact that what I'm talking about is like what these people are doing, right? Like
but I was just talking to the specific example of what you mentioned. You're like, oh, take my man, because I understand why you would say that. Right? Because if you do it the way that traditionally people have done it,
that's what I'm saying.
I agree with it.
Yeah.
But if you could kind of change that a bit, where you do the first part, where it's actually the borrowing the money, but you actually do something with it.
Yeah.
then
You generate revenue.
Exactly. Then I'm like, I actually don't. I see like that as a benefit actually.
So one last one to wrap this bitch up. So with World War III, man, there's a lot of fucking fatality, right?
Yes.
And hey, I caught that pretty
Pause.
early.
Pause. Yeah.
Let's say, you know, you're there and you're seeing your death, right? Maybe not 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, but you're seeing your death, right?
Okay.
World War III is happening, and you're gonna die. Okay, are you afraid, Hector? Are you afraid
Of seeing my death?
of death?
Am I afraid of death? No.
Yeah.
Not right now.
Not right now. What does that mean?
Because it feels so far away.
Does it though?
It does. I realized that I have this characteristic, and it's not a unique one. Like I know many people have it, because it comes from a really common place. But I don't get nervous about things that I feel are far enough away. And this is a deeper statement than you think. It's not just, you know, this, what you said, like death, for example. Like, oh, you're scared of death. But even something as simple as, you know, something at work that might stress you out. I don't get stressed about things at work that I feel are far enough away. This is the whole basis of procrastination with people.
Yeah.
Because
this is the benefit.
It's
stress management.
It's a double-edged sword.
But it's stress management.
No, it is, but it's a double-edged sword, because if you don't deal with the stress in a positive manner,
timing is important.
All you're doing is just prolonging it, and then it's gonna hit you like a fucking bag of bricks.
Yeah, but sometimes it's a good way of if you actually use it effectively. It's a good tool.
Yeah, but the trick is not it's
yeah. People get lost in the sauce.
You need to know how to do so, because it's a lot easier to just put it out of sight, on mind kind of thing for a while.
Yeah.
But then if you don't manage to deal with that effectively, when it hits you fucking hard.
Hits you hard, bro.
So the same logic applies here with the death thing. Is that for me, in my head, it feels so far away. It's not even
it's not a big deal.
It's not stressful. But if there are signs that pop up that make it feel like it's a lot closer, then it starts getting a thing in my head. Then I can see myself starting to get like scared. Like I said, the World War III thing. Yeah. If there are signs popping up that make it a bit more of a possibility, then I'm going to start to think like, oh, shit.
Yeah. For me, man, I got to say...
Can't wait.
It'll be a relief.
I knew it.
It'll be a relief, because think about it, man. I gotta still go to like finish fucking uni. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, all those problems kind of melt away, don't they?
Yeah, like
literally melt away.
Yeah. Couple of nukes, boom, new world, new me, man. You know, it'd be me, Senora, just out in the bush, just like fucking, just savaging. You know, that's what I see. Like Book of Eli. You seen that shit?
Yeah, except it wouldn't be anything close to that.
No, it'd be Book of Agbashlu.
It'd be Book of Radiation Agbashlu.
Yeah, it'd just be like a bunch of fucking videos.
You're gonna like sprout a leg out of your ass.
As long as it makes me run faster and shit.
Senora's gonna get like 2 fists, like real fists.
Sick. Sick, man. Any last thoughts, you fuck?
Nah, that's all.
That's all, man.
That's it. That's all.
That's all.
Fade me out of here, daddy.
Boom. Make sure you subscribe.
All our channels.
Funny About Foul Podcast and Funny About Foul everywhere else, man. TikTok, fucking Spotify. Check all that shit out. Wednesdays.
YouTube as always.
We do Wednesdays, and then we do clips and shit. We outie.